What's up, y'all? It's Rhonda with the Social Therapy Podcast, where every week we talking about a little bit of current events with a little bit of social therapy to get you through the week, okay? And today we talking about why the truth and your truth are not the same. This is going to be a hard truth for some of y'all to hear, but after I break it down for you, hopefully you can reevaluate a few things that you got going on. You can see where I'm coming from, and you can change just a few things about what you got going on. But before we go any further, you already know I got to give a shout out to our sponsor who pays the bills around here, motivatedcoffee.com. Motivated Coffee has a smooth, robust flavor, has chocolatey undertones, GMO free, easy on the stomach, and you could drink it without cream, okay? And for the rest of the month of October, they're doing free shipping on everything, okay? So make sure you head over to motivatedcoffee.com and place your order today. Once again, that was motivatedcoffee.com. All right, let's go ahead and get into it, okay? So, the other day, I seen a video on TikTok that made me feel some kind of way, okay? Okay, now the video, it was like this guy, and he said that women are held hostage by their experiences. Who is not held hostage by an experience, by their experiences, okay? And I wouldn't even, I felt like the word hostage was a very, like, crude word to use because it's a harsh word, okay? I don't think anyone's really held hostage by their past experiences, but we do allow our past experiences to be used as wisdom when making decisions about our future, okay? So he went on to say that women act out of fear of being hurt or taken advantage of. Who does it? Men or women or whoever, okay? Nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to be taken advantage of. There are men and women out here taking advantage of people so they don't get taken advantage of, okay? It's an unhealthy cycle and it goes on every day. And if you are sitting out here being naive even after having gone through something, and just because it's a new person you're going to allow yourself to act like you don't know what's going on because you don't want to offend nobody, or you don't want to be seen as being hostage to your experiences. You are foolish, okay? You are foolish. Stop being foolish, okay? He stated that women often look for indicators, aka red flags, to gauge whether the new man that they just met is sincere or just running game. Who don't want to know if the person that they just met is sincere or running game? Wouldn't you want to know if somebody's intentions for you are real, or they just trying to get your cookies, or they just trying to get your money, or they just trying to have a place to stay because it's winter time and they living in their mama house, or they about to lose their crib and need a place to go? Don't you want to know? Okay. And as this, I just want to say this real quick, okay? Ladies, hide your houses. It's about to get cold outside, and there is some folks out here that need a place to stay. Don't be the fool, okay? Don't be foolish. Pay attention to them red flags. All right. So he finished his rant with the tone that this was an unacceptable trait to have, as unacceptable behavior, and that women need to free themselves of this hostage situation. And y'all, I'm paraphrasing. But I'm like, well, are you supposed to just walk around just taking hits all day? You're just supposed to be walking around, just take advantage of me. Look at, I got a stamp on my forehead that says naive and green and ready to be seen by the next person who needs something from me. No, okay? I'm not saying to be negative, or to be walking around thinking that everybody's out to get you. That's not healthy at all. But what I am saying is, if somebody starts to exude behaviors that are known to be toxic based off of your own experiences or experiences that you have witnessed someone very close to you go through right in your face, you might want to step back and evaluate that person and the situation that you're getting into and decide whether or not it's worth your time. Okay? Don't let people like this person cause you to end up in a bad situation or a situation that is not good for you. Okay? And a matter of fact, let me give y'all an example real quick of a very real situation that is happening in real time right now on social media. Okay. Now, I came across this post on Instagram. I think that he may have initially posted it on Twitter. I'm not sure. But if you are watching this podcast on my YouTube channel, I have screenshots of his posts on there. It's 3 screenshots. If you're not, I'm just going to go ahead and read it to you real quick, okay? So, I want y'all to listen to this, okay? And I want you to see how this man is clearly using and leading on and taking advantage of his current girlfriend of what seems to be of a few years. And if she's been there, it seems like she's been there through hard times with him, okay? And for him to put this on here, and if this is how she's finding out that their relationship ain't about nothing and it's been built on false hopes and dreams, this is messed up. Okay. So the first slide reads, I can't believe my girlfriend really think that I'm gonna marry her and we'll live happily ever after. Soon as I get a decent job, I'm gonna leave her and start dating my type. TF. I wrote. Second slide. If my girl could leave me for a guy who's well established and appreciates her more than I do, I would gladly accept and never hold her hostage. Just because she's been with me through thick and thin, this entitlement over people's lives is the reason people resort to violent behavior. Oh my God, y'all. I'm trying to hold it in. People need to understand that we're not entitled to be with them forever just because they were with us when we were broke. We each have our own preferences, and that doesn't make me love my current girlfriend any less. Things change, feelings change. It's a vicious cycle. Y'all, huh? Mm, let's point out a few red flags here. Okay. The red flag challenge was last week, but we're going to point out a few red flags. So back to the first slide, okay? You can't believe that she really think y'all gonna get married and live happily ever after. What kind of dreams have you been selling this girl? I'm sure you've been selling her a dream or a couple of them. Because even though there's a lot of girls who are out there who have the happily ever after Cinderella syndrome, fairy tale syndrome, at the same time, there's a voice in the back of your head that's very realistic and letting you know this might not be the one. Unless this person has convinced you that they are the one and they're making future plans with you and they're talking into the future with you and they are leading you to believe that there is a future. Okay? As soon as I get a decent job, I'm going to leave her and start dating my types. Leave now. You ain't got no decent job now? You ain't making enough money to take care of yourself? Are you her son? Leave now. Stop cock blocking. Let her move on with her life. Let her find the guy who's well established, because obviously you're not, and appreciates her more than you do, because obviously you don't. Okay. And I didn't like the fact that he said if she could leave, she could leave anytime she wants. You see, is curving men every day. Believe me, she's curving men every day. Even regardless of how she look, regardless of whatever kind of body type she got, regardless of how she dressed or how she wear her hair. There's a man out there that likes every type of woman that walks this earth. And I'm telling you right now that she is curving men every day. And if she knew that you felt this way, she would not be curving anybody, especially not every day. Okay? You wouldn't hold her hostage as she would, because I bet you she tried to leave before and you cut up. You didn't want to leave because you need a place to stay. That's why I said, why y'all protect your houses, okay? They're looking for a place to stay. They need somewhere to stay. They need a warm bed. They need a warm meal. These men are homeless. Okay, it's either stay with you or stay with their mama. And matter of fact, their mama probably don't even want them there. They need a place to stay. There's men like this without good jobs. He says as soon as he get a better job. So that means he got a job that cannot support him. He need her. She don't need him because she's supporting him. Otherwise, he'd have left already, right? This entitlement over people's lives is the reason why people resort to violent behavior. You are violent too, bruh. You just let her know that the entitlement over your life of thinking that y'all supposed to be together would be the reason why you resort to violent behavior. You violent. The signs have been there. The red flags have been there. Okay? This is real. This is real. It's very real. Okay? Y'all pay attention. This is what be going on behind the scenes. This is supportive character type stuff. Like she's a main character in her story. He's a supportive character. As long as she's been thinking that everything's been great and wonderful and they are on a trajectory in their relationship, all this has been going on in the background. People need to understand that we're not entitled to be with them forever just because they was with us when we was broke. Bruh, you're not entitled. You're right. Just because they was with you when you was broke don't mean that you don't have to be with them when you're not broke. Like they only get to have the broke version of you. You know, I just hope that after she has dealt with you broke and then she's no longer with you because you're not broke anymore, I will hope that she takes these experiences. I hope that she's held hostage by this experience and she never dates a broke man again. Okay? That is the experience that you need to be held hostage by, if nothing else. Okay? He says it doesn't make him love his current girlfriend any less. You obviously don't love her at all if that's how you feel about her. And then you're gonna put it on social media and blast her because everybody that know y'all together know you and know you is with her and know she is with you. And people who know the both of y'all see y'all post, see your post on social media, and you done blasted her whole life up. You done blew her life up. I hope y'all ain't got no kids together. Okay? Things change, feelings change. It's a vicious life cycle. It don't have to be vicious. You could just leave. You don't have to break her down that bad, bruh. You know? I understand things do change, right? Feelings do change. Maybe over the course of your relationship, she has not shown you that she's the type of woman that you could boss up with. I get it. I understand that. I've been there, right? You could try as hard as you want to try to get a person to, make a move. Just make a move. Stop talking about it and be about it. Do something. They don't want to do nothing. And they want to, sabotage your moves, right? Or not support your moves. They content with where they at. That could be a turn off. And that can make you be like, I can't do this. But once you realize I can't do this, I can't be with this person, I can't reach my full potential with this person, then you leave. Let this person, this uninspired person, be with another uninspired person and let them live their uninspired lives together. And you go on to live your life with the type of woman that are your type, but start today. Don't wait. Stop wasting your time and hers. Okay? So like I said, the screenshots to those posts are on my on the YouTube version of this episode. So if you want to see that for yourself, go ahead. I might post it on the Instagram too. Let me know. Okay. Okay. So basically, going over that, reviewing that post and breaking that down, I wanted to show that to you guys because I wanted you to see that this is why women are so-called held hostage by their past experiences. You would be surprised how many women have this similar story, that this has been going on behind the scenes, that they get with a guy and he woos them and wines and dines them and gives them that good, you know what I'm saying? How I'm losing their mind all the way around, thinking they in love when this person is not in love with them, when they are just using them and they are just there to get a leg up in life and then move on. And then that person is sitting there looking crazy like they did not see it coming. And then when they decide to start dating somebody else, then now they're seen as being bitter. They're seen as being held hostage by their past experiences. And I really believe that if you have gone through this, you should not be dating again. You need to get a therapist and you need to work through this so you can move on and have a healthy relationship and know how to spot the red flags that could keep you from going through this again. Okay? Mental health matters. Okay? Because I'm going to tell you right now, nobody, no one, regardless of their gender, nobody wants to go through this and let alone go through it twice. Okay? But let's go deep. Let's dive deeper into this. Okay? Held hostage by your experiences. First of all, we all are a product of our experiences and our environment. From the moment that we were conceived, we were subconsciously exposed to conversations about love, money, the streets, whatever, right? We were, I'm going to say it again, subconsciously exposed to these private conversations while in utero. Okay? Think about it. Why do you think a child that's born recognizes their mother's voice? They hear the phone conversations, they hear everything. They don't know what she's saying, but they hear it. Okay? And then even as very young children, right, we heard grown folk talk. We heard the arguments. We heard the conversations with the bill collectors, okay? And our parents had these conversations in front of us because we too young. They don't understand what's going on. They don't know what we're talking about, right? But what they don't understand is these conversations, even at a very young age or in utero, they subconsciously shaped our way of thinking, right? And since we as humans are deeply programmed for survival, we tend to lean on our past experiences paired with wisdom, even if it's, wisdom received via osmosis. We take all that and then we act accordingly, which is how it's supposed to go, which makes sense, right? I don't understand, why does it seem like it's okay to operate based off experience when it's business, but when it's your personal life, you're not supposed to. If you ask me, it's all a business. All of it. Relationships, it's all a business. And you need to have a plan. You need to have a business plan for everything. You need to operate your life like a business. Okay? And we can dig into that in another episode, but I really believe that. And honestly, since I have started more so positioning my life in such a way, things have actually begun to take a turn for the better for me. So I'm just speaking from my experience that works for me. Okay. But so we act accordingly based off of, our past experiences, the wisdom, the conversations that we receive, all this stuff throughout our lifespan. And honestly, you would be remiss to ignore the red flags in any situation. I mean, literally, that could be considered as self sabotage or even self destruction, depending on the severity of the situation. So I just want to say this to the guy who made the video on TikTok talking about women are held hostage by their experiences. Sir, 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 if you feel like you're getting an unfair chance at dating women because of their past experiences, because they are interpreting a few things you do as toxic that you don't believe are toxic, and maybe your intentions really are good, maybe your intentions really are pure, all I got to say, all I ask is that you make sure that when you start dating someone, okay, when you start dating somebody's daughter or son, whatever, that you're not the reason for her hangups in the future. Unlike Mr. Woo Woo Woo, on Instagram, because that was a hot mess. And I feel for that girl. And if that's how she found out that she has been living a lie for however long, that is messed up. But then that takes me right into the topic of this week's episode, right? The truth and your truth are not the same, okay? And once you realize that your truth and the truth are not the same, then you start to understand why things are the way that they are. Like for this young girl, this woman, whoever she is or whatever, the truth that she's been living in this relationship is not her man's truth, right? It's a whole nother situation going on behind the scenes. And the whole truth does not match up with her truth. And that's why the truth and her truth are not the same. So once you realize that the truth and your truth are not the same, then you got to decide, well, which one are you operating out of? Which truth are you operating out of, right? And then you have to accept the fact that you have been living out of your established reality, which is often seen through rose colored lenses, okay? And our established reality is basically the way that we see things based off the way that we have been brought up, based off the way that we process our thoughts, and based off of our perspective, okay? And when you get into your established reality, you might see the world as something that happens to you and something that you don't happen to. You want to flip that. The world should not be happening to you. You should be happening to the world. You should be shaking things up. You should be making a stamp. You should be making, when you leave the room, people knew you were there. Okay? But because your established reality is your perceptions, then your situations are often skewed, because it's always going to be skewed in your favor. Whether that favor is that you're a victim or that you're a winner. All right. Whatever your believed reality is, your situations are always going to be in favor of what is most comforting to your subconscious mind. And this is mainly because we don't know the whole story. We don't know the backstory of the other person involved in the situation that led up to that moment. Have you ever watched a show and they take one episode and they focus on a supporting character? It gives you insight into who they are, why they do what they do, and what drives them. Now, up until this episode, you've only seen life through the eyes of the main character, right? So, like, for example, I've been binge watching this show on Netflix called Secretary of State. I think it got like 6 seasons. It's juicy. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about like, it's a perfect binge show. Has 6 episodes and it has 6 seasons, and every season got a lot of episodes in it, right? So it's like, man, I don't really be having much time to watch TV, but I got something to look forward to, and the storyline just blends right into the next episode. So it's a story, and I love it. But they took an episode and they focused on the Secretary of State's executive assistant. And up until this point, you are seeing the executive assistant. He's always there. He's always there. He is on point. He don't make mistakes. She can depend on him. And you don't even really realize that he's there because he's always there so much. And then they did an episode where it starts out with him waking up in the morning and he's like exhausted. And then he gets up 4:30 in the morning, has a glimmer in his eyes, like he had to pump himself up mentally real quick. He goes for a run. Then he comes back home. He makes himself some coffee. He gets on his laptop. He's reviewing his notes for the day. Before he even gets dressed, he feeds his cat. He's constantly looking at his watch. At a certain time, he does this. At a certain time, he does that. He heads to the bakery. He gets the bear claw and the coffee for his boss. He's talking to people along the way to work about things that actually end up coming up later in later episodes that came from him. And he meets her at the elevator as she's getting off, and he hands her her bear claw and her coffee and takes her jacket, and he fills her in on her schedule for the day and what's been going on, all the hot topics. But we get to see what led up to that moment, and then from that moment on, from that episode on, you see him with a new respect. You see how he operates. You see how she moved. You see how she couldn't do you. She wouldn't be who she is without him, because she would fall apart. She wouldn't be as amazing as she is if she didn't have him in her life as her executive assistant. Okay. But I said all that to say this. For the whole seasons, you see life through the eyes of the main character, and you see their truth. You are the main character in your life, and the people in your life are supporting characters. If you don't know what drives them, if you don't know the backstory, if you don't know what led up to them becoming in your life, or what led up to a situation that you ended up in with them, or whatever, then you're living in your perceived reality, and your truth is not the truth to anyone but you. Okay. Now, you guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode today. If you have anything that you would like to say, go ahead and comment in the comments, and I'll get right with you. Okay. I like going back and forth with you guys and getting like your opinion on things. And I am looking for a co-host. Not the same person every episode, but like I do want to bring somebody on, maybe once a month or something like that. We can just kind of have a conversation about some of this stuff, kind of bounce, see another perspective besides my own. So if you're interested in, co-hosting with me every now and then, or just coming on just to say what you think about a few things, let me know. We could work something out. But in the meantime, if you enjoyed this episode, and if you feel like there is someone out there that could use this episode, make sure you share this with them. If you're listening to this on your favorite streaming platform, make sure you follow this podcast, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Make sure you stay up to date on everything that we got going on. Make sure you visit motivatedcoffee.com. They got that free shipping through the end of the month. So go ahead and get yours today. Okay. And until next week, I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a blessed week. I hope everything is as it should be. Money comes to you freely. Okay. We out here living our best life. And I know that's an old saying, but it's still true. Okay. And live each day like it's your last. All right. And until next week, peace.